Hey, welcome to another Gator Sports Podcast. I'm really excited. I've got a couple of senior baseball players with me today. I have Blake Brickmeyer and I've got Connor Chancellor. I get that right, guys?
Yes, sir.
I've been watching you all play baseball for many years. Blake, how long have you been playing for Gateway?
Since my freshman year, varsity for 4 years.
What about you?
Since freshman
Connor?
year.
So both of you guys have been here for a long time.
Yes, sir.
And this is it.
Mm-hmm.
It's your senior year, man.
Yes, sir.
It's so how about let's make the playoffs?
That's
So
the goal.
we're recording this. I think right now you're in the hunt for the last playoff spot at least,
Yes, sir.
and you just got to win your final couple of games.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what's going to happen? Prediction. What's going to happen here, Blake? What are
Gators
you guys
win
going
the
to do?
next 3 games, get 4th seed, and we go on 3 rounds.
Okay, all right. I can put money on that.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Connor, can
Oh, yeah.
I? You're catching. You're back there behind the plate, right?
Oh, yes, sir.
So what kind of pitching matchups do we have? Who are we going to go up against when you let's see, you got Gerald
We
left,
have Gerald on Friday, and then I
you've
think
got
Blake's going to be
Lampasas.
starting on Friday, maybe.
Throwing?
Hmm?
You throw?
Yes, sir.
Have you thrown that much this year? Maybe I've just the games I've caught. I haven't seen you. I haven't seen you pitch.
I started off the season and I injured my leg, so I've slowly started to get back into it.
So you're getting some innings in now.
Mm-hmm.
To play.
Yes, sir.
Well, that probably helps us a little bit, doesn't it?
Oh,
Because you're a
yes, sir.
third baseman. You got to have a strong arm to play
Yes,
third.
sir.
So who has the strongest arm, you or Connor from home plate?
From home plate, Connor, but during warm-ups, I can get it out probably fence to fence.
He's got the wind with him, though. He's blowing in.
Yeah, well, we got a lot of wind out there actually where we play.
Yeah.
So have any one of you guys hit the green monster yet?
Many times.
Blake does all the time.
No, in a game?
Yeah, in a game.
In a game you have? How
Yeah.
come I haven't seen that? Maybe I haven't in the past. But you bat from the left side, don't you?
Always hit
So you're going the
top of-
opposite field.
Always hit the top of it.
It never goes completely over?
Nope.
Yeah, but see, I like that because I like to hear it when it hits that plywood.
Mm-hmm.
I love that
But
sound.
it's a whole lot better for us if it goes over.
Yeah, there's a little more drama when somebody's got to play it off of the wall. Years ago, there was like, oh, we need to replace the plywood, and they're like some fancy vinyl or something like that. I go, no, it won't sound anywhere near as good. I love it when it hits that, right? There's the drama. Does somebody know how to play off the wall? Hopefully you guys do because it's your home field.
Right.
So anyway, all right. So Blake, you throw right and you bat left.
Mm-hmm.
How does that happen?
I don't know. I'm always called a weird kid for it. I always hit last because nobody wants to move the bucket over when we're hitting.
I threw right. I batted left too. My dad wanted me to switch to the left side. I'm glad he taught me. I thought it was a real advantage because pitchers don't face the lefty as often. So hopefully. And do you feel like it is an advantage for you because you're one of the few that bats from the left side or not?
I
How do you
think
feel about it?
so because a lot of kids in high school right now are all right-handed. So you barely get to see a lefty pitcher. But my dad, he was trying to get me to go back and forth, but I never picked up the right side.
Switch hitting, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So you've just stuck with that. Connor, you're behind the plate. Have you been catching for years or
Oh,
just
yes, sir. A long time.
What attracted you to behind the plate?
Nobody else wanted to do it.
Really?
Plus, it was cool to put the gear on.
Oh, it is very cool. I played catcher. I loved it. My son played catcher mostly. He played some other positions as well. I was a defensive catcher. I was one of those guys. I could throw you out at second.
Mm-hmm.
I love playing behind the plate, and
Oh,
catching
yeah.
all these different pitchers. Wasn't that great to plate, but so what do you like most about it besides the gear?
I just feel like that's where I excel at the game is behind the plate defensively.
Yeah.
That's my strong suit.
And what part of that is, there's a lot that goes into it.
Right.
There's,
Blocking, throwing, receiving, everything.
do you guys, is your coaching philosophy, you guys call pitches? Who calls the pitches for Gateway?
Coach Cryer does, but we kind of go back and forth.
So
He gives
You'll-
us that leeway.
you get a signal,
Mm-hmm.
and then do you ever change it? Say, hey, I know more than coach. I'm going to change this.
Sometimes, but don't tell him
Oh.
that.
Could you imagine you change it up and then the guy hits a dunker over the green monster? What would he do? What would
Oh,
coach do if that happened?
Why'd you call that? That's what I tell him.
That's
that
what
was
he,
you.
that's what he would say. He would just be very nicely say, "Why did you call that?" I don't think I'd have handled that so well.
Clipboard may be in
Yeah,
too.
how did you do something? Are you kidding me? Oh man! So tell me what got you into baseball. How long have you been playing the sport, Blake?
I started when I was probably 5. That's basically the only sport I've been playing. Picked up basketball for a little bit, but too big for it, a little too slow, so I just stayed with baseball.
So a long time.
hmm
And then at Gateway since your 9th grade year. That's great. We're glad you're here. It's fun to watch you. I've been watching you guys for years, and I think you're a lot of fun to watch at third base.
Thanks.
Good defender. I like it, and I like it when you come up to plate. I think you've got a pretty high batting average from many times up. What kind of a batting average are you carrying this year?
About like a mid 400 right now.
Wow. Are you in the 4 spot, 3rd? Where are you
Lead
at?
off.
Oh, you're lead off.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
I guess. Well, wait a minute. You said you're kind of slow.
Get on base.
Oh, you get on base, but you're not going to be stealing a whole lot, huh?
Oh.
No.
No. Yeah. Well, who's the fastest guy on the team? You got somebody you go, oh, this guy can motor.
I don't even know.
No, nobody stands out. Huh?
No,
That's
not
all right.
at all.
Well, we'll go there. So, what's going to be the secret to getting you guys over the hump and getting you in the playoff this year? What's got to get done here in the last few games that you got left? Talk to me about that, Connor. What else is going to have come together?
I think we need to come together as a team. I mean, the last couple games we haven't been playing together, and if we can play together like we were at the beginning of the season when we were really hot, then we can definitely get it done. I mean, it's right in front of us, so we should be able to get it done.
Play together. What does that mean?
Just believe in one another. Make sure that you're doing your job and you believe, and help someone else continue doing their job.
Right. Yeah.
Just row the boat. Have everybody pushing forward.
Selflessness.
All the years I've watched baseball, to me, what that means is if somebody needs to sacrifice bunt, they get the sacrifice bunt down. If somebody needs to hit the cutoff guy, they hit the cutoff guy.
Right.
You do what the coach asks you to do, and you execute.
Mhm.
That to me is one of the keys to. It's those little things that are so important to get you over that, especially if you're equal talent to some teams. There's a certain chemistry that some teams have and some teams don't, and you can have all, if your talent's equal, what are these other ingredients that just get you over the hump? To me, it seems like it's those kind of little things. I wish I knew what makes teams come together, and sometimes not. Sometimes it changes over the course of a season. Maybe it's personalities, maybe it's belief. I don't know. I hope you guys get it done because I want to go watch you in the playoffs. It's your senior year, guys. Are you kidding me? I mean, we should be laying out. You guys should be just so into this that everybody knows it's 100%. And it's not about you. It's about who?
Gateway Gators.
It's about the Gators, man. It's about making it together as a team. So anyway, Connor, talk a little bit about your experience as just a student. When you look back on your 4 years here, what's your takeaway? How's it prepared you for your next, after high school? What do you think you got from the school?
I mean, I'd say I got a lot from the school, from being able to take the advanced courses that I was able to do. I mean, set me up a good amount for next year. I mean, I have a good amount of college credit already done. So it'll save me some time and it'll save me some money.
That's fantastic. You know where you want to go yet? You figured that out?
Me and Blake are actually going up to a school together.
Okay. Where are you guys going?
Southern Nazarene in Oklahoma City.
Get out of here.
Mhm.
You're kidding me.
No, sir.
I'm going to tell you, I know a lot about the school. You know why? First of all, my father was a Nazarene preacher. I got a master's degree there.
Oh, actually.
I lived there for about 10 years before I can't believe that's awesome. I went to a little Nazarene school in Boston. It was called Eastern Nazarene College. That's where I went to school. Oh, that's really exciting. I'm going to come watch. God dang it. I got to watch this. This is great. That's a really good small school division. Now that's division. Okay, I may get this wrong because I haven't followed them that much. I follow my alma mater back in Boston more. So is that Division 3 or Division 1?
Division 2.
Division 2.
It's Division 2.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So who are some of the schools, colleges they're competing with?
Southern Arkansas.
Yep, that's right.
Henderson State and Oklahoma Christian. They're all top 25 teams in the nation. So it'll give you like some good competition to move forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you guys are is it the Lions?
The Crimson Storm.
Oh, the Storm. I should have got that. Oh, that's right. My alma mater changed to the Lions. Oh, I got that mixed up. I'm sorry. Well, good luck on that, guys. I hope it goes really, really well for you. When you look, what Blake, for you, looking back, what was like the one experience that's probably the most fun? You go, the most memorable from your time playing baseball. You go, well, that was the most fun I had. got a moment or something you guys did?
Tournament season, just playing 5 games for 3 days, just being together in a grind. But then sophomore year, our first playoff game against Giddings, we came in as a 4 seed against a top ranked team, and we beat them 3-1. And then the bus ride back to school.
It's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
It's moments like that make it all worth it. I remember when I was coaching, we won our first, it was a play-in game to get to the playoffs. It never happened in our basketball history, and it was awesome. And the locker room was just so cool because of all the work that goes into it, right? You know what I mean? There's a lot that happens beforehand. It just makes it pay off. What about academically for you, Blake? What is your takeaway from attending Gateway College Prep that you think really got you ready for the next stage after high school?
Just the connection between the student and the teacher, having the confidence and being comfortable to go and ask questions, not have to hide in the back of the class just trying to figure out yourself. And I feel like I've succeeded in school so far this year and the past 4 years.
Yeah, if you can handle it here, you're going to do fine in college.
Oh, yeah.
It is a little tougher than some of the other schools because you want to go to college. That's what you plan to do. Well, we're going to get you ready for it. You'll be ready to handle everything because of what you got at Gateway. That was the vision for the school all along. All right, let me ask you a couple more things. Well, first of all, Connor, have you done some service work? That's one of our requirements here at Gateway. What kind of things have you maybe done to help the community or help somebody else? Is that?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I'm working concession stands at the games, of course,
Right.
and then when the big freeze happened, doing like going around picking up limbs, picking up trash, stuff like that.
Awesome. What about you, Blake? Have you had something you've been able to
Like
contribute to?
like Connor with the freeze, going to my grandma's and then other small communities, cutting trees down for hours, for weeks even.
With the power saw? Somebody, they trust you with the power saw?
Yeah.
Barely.
I don't know if I trust myself with a power saw. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, good. No, that's another important value that we try to instill is for you guys to do something where you're giving back to somebody else. It's not always about us. So that's another thing I think is really, really important. Connor, after this podcast, I'm going to give you $500 cash. What are you going to do with it?
Ooh, probably go buy a new baseball glove.
What are those costing nowadays?
About $500.
What? Are you kidding me?
350, 400.
It's got to have some color. Certainly you'd get one that's green. Well, no, you can't. I mean, this is going to be the end of. So you're going to go to Southern Nazarene, the reddish.
Yes,
red,
like
or
crimson,
something?
yes, sir.
So you got to get a red glove. What's going to be special about this for $500?
And man, I don't even know. I might just stay basic, just tan. Tan and brown.
So I noticed behind the plate, your gear is black.
Black and green, mine is, yes.
You got some green on
I
it?
have some green on it, yes, sir.
Okay, well, good. Because everybody will tell you about my story about black uniforms and stuff. You've all heard about this. I'm like, our colors are green and orange. And I know your catcher gear is probably the catcher gear you've had for years and you just happen to like it. So you're not going to change colors and get some gear that doesn't fit you just perfectly, right?
Right, yes, sir.
So that's just like one of your kind of like little pet peeves, right? Like, you got to
yeah.
have it this way.
Yeah, it's got to be your gear. I mean, it's weird to wear somebody else's gear.
Yeah, it smells different and all that kind of stuff. No, I know. As a catcher, I know what that's like. What about you, Blake? You got any kind of like crazy habits or routines that are just unique to you?
I don't think so. I just if we hit, just take 2 rounds of batting practice. If we don't hit, just go up and swing on the on deck circle. I don't really have any tendencies or anything.
What about your walk-up music? Nowadays, everybody's got to have some walk-up.
Walk-up music.
What's your walk-up song?
Right now, it's Sweet Emotion.
Hang on. That's Aerosmith?
Mm-hmm.
That's my time. Are you kidding? You guys are listening to my stuff? You know how old I am?
And then the year before that was Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Okay, I go down. I'm down with both of those.
Yeah.
Very good selection. Good. All right, Connor, what's yours?
Mine's Soul Survivor.
Soul Survivor.
Yeah, you probably never heard of that one.
Why would you say that? Of course, I'm up to all your stuff. No, who does that one?
Who is it? I think it's Ozzy.
Ozzy?
Mm-hmm.
Who's that?
It's just a hip hop rapper.
Okay,
Yeah.
pretty new. Like somebody that's been out there
I mean,
recently.
early 2000s.
Early 2000s. That's way my time. All right. Well, I look forward to hearing your music as you do your walk-ups. Hey guys, appreciate you coming on. I hope you guys make the playoffs. I'm rooting for you, and go Gators.
Go
Go
Gators.
Gators.
All right. Thanks, guys. All right. I've got head coach Franke has joined me to talk some more about baseball. Coach, those are two outstanding young men that we just had on here. You're senior baseball players. Tell me a little bit about Blake and Connor. What's it been like to coach those guys?
Yeah, it's I've had them now for this is my second year having them, and when you look at players like who do you want representing our team? I mean, they're at the top of the team. They're exactly who you want. They're good role models. They work hard on the field. They take care of the books. You just nobody you have to worry about, right? And it's just those are the kind of guys you want on your team. And so going forward, when we're picking our teams and so forth, that's they've set the standard in my book in terms of those are the kind of guys that you want to build your program around.
Well, then let me say hats off to the parents for
Yes.
helping bringing them up. I know we as coaches play a big role too, because kids don't always listen to their parents, but you can tell when kids have been raised well.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Without a doubt.
So yeah,
Yep.
with hats off. Those are the kind of kids that we love to see them here and go on to other success and all that kind of stuff. Well, Coach, you're kind of winding down your season, and you're still in the playoff hunt. Give us a little review of the year. How do you feel? Are you satisfied with where we're at? And how do you feel about finishing up? What's your prognosis for the rest of the school year here?
Yeah, I think and the boys touched on it. We started out really hot. We were undefeated through 9 games. Just rolling everything. But it's a long season, as we know. I mean, we start training back in August, and it's now almost it's going to be May, right? So it's a long month. You have your ups and downs. We've had some nagging injuries that we've had to deal with a little bit. Players playing out position. We've had to call up some younger players, which I think ultimately will benefit our program down the road. But I look at in terms of wins and losses, we've doubled our number of wins from last year. I think we're on the right track. We've got a good JV team that we're going to be able to build on going forward. We've got a slew of players in the middle school program, so the future's bright. But in terms of this year, I think if we can just stay together, again, you deal with adversity, right? And it's just that to me is it shows the quality of a team. Is every team deals with adversity, but how do you handle it, right? And I think the strong teams work through it. We're working on it. We're getting there. It's a work in progress. I believe in the kids. They're great kids. They work hard. They just, like I said, we've introduced this family aspect this year, and a new concept like that takes a while for everybody to catch on, but we're continuing to build on that.
Yeah, when you say family, you've added a family atmosphere. Be more specific. How do you do that, and what does that mean?
Yeah, so
for an
family.
outsider looking at
So family is actually an acronym. So it's forget about me, I love you. All right. So it's not about me. It's about I'm gonna help you. All right. And if we all, like I think Blake mentioned about row the boat, right? If everybody's rowing in the right direction, same direction, you're gonna go places, right? And pretty quick. So that can be a unique philosophy sometimes to some as you come up through different levels of baseball, and it's not always about the team, it's about me getting better. And so to introduce that kind of philosophy takes a special player to really get on board, to really understand what that means is to forget about me for a while. I'm going to go to my teammate and help that teammate be
Coach,
the best
we
player.
got name, image, and likeness stuff going on at the next level. These kids are seniors. They're already talking about some of their buddies are going to get money to go play. I mean, why would you think about others and not yourself with this new? Well, how do you feel about that? I'm worried about this whole.
I am too. I don't know. I don't know how coaches do it at that level to keep everybody together when guys are driving cars more expensive than the coach is driving. I don't know. It's a challenge, and I don't know how they do it. Because like I said, you've got that individual aspect to it, but they got to bring everybody together, or it doesn't work.
Yeah, and hopefully it doesn't filter down into the high school ranks. But
Yeah.
My goodness, maybe it will. I mean, I don't like that stuff. I think it's detrimental to the game, the college game. And I'll bet you run into that at some level, right? Because you got to be educating these kids on how to be a part of a team and not be thinking about yourself all the time. You know, you were talking about something else about adversity, and one of the things I always look for the subtle things when I look at our teams. You know, there's talent. You can judge talent.
Sure.
But then there's other elements, the teamwork. The other thing is just body language of players. When there is adversity, as we're all going to face, but sometimes watching the body language of the players tells you a lot. Oh, I got to work with this kid because his body language is feeding some others, and it's a negative body language. You know what I mean? Do you see that as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's, again.
Or words, just some of the words you use, right? Can make it worse.
It can. And like I said, there's every team faces it in some form or fashion. Again, it can be injuries, it could be umpires, it could be the weather, but the little things, like you said, how you handle a strikeout, how you handle an error, and baseball is you can't be a perfectionist play baseball.
No,
it's the nature of the game is that you can't be a perfectionist, and so it's part of the game. You teach them how to handle it, move on, and play for the next pitch or the next at bat. Learn from it and move on. Yeah. And that's what we teach all the time is getting better. Learn from your past mistakes, but then you got to put the oar back in the water and keep rowing and keep getting after it.
Yeah. And I appreciate all you coaches that are doing that. You know, you're doing it the right way. And, we love our wins. Yep. But more than that, we love when our kids do it the right way. And we'll take our wins and losses when they're doing it the right way. Everybody's staying positive. We're working as hard as we can. We're not making excuses.
Nope.
I love that. So I know you've got a challenge. Talk to me a little bit about the kind of last couple questions. You came from a lot of different coaching experience, but you're at Gateway College Prep now, at public charter school. What's different about this coaching experience than some of your other places? What makes this coaching experience unique?
It's unique in that it's like, so I started off at the high school level and then moved to the college level and then spent 30 years at the professional level. So I see Gateway as benefiting from those 30 to 40 years because now because I learned something different at every one of those stops about how to do things, how to practice, how to train, how to handle adversity, how the players go about their work, right? And so I think that made me more prepared now to handle this position. I think that will ultimately, hopefully, it'll benefit the program as we build this program. Yeah. So,
some of the ingredients you got to have to build it. I think you've mentioned it. It sounds like we've got a middle school team that we're doing, and you've got a strong JV team. So, are there anything else that you would tell the athletic community at Gateway that you'd like to see to try to give you some more support for baseball? Is there anything else? Or do you feel like, this is the community's behind me?
Yeah, no, I think, like I said, adding the middle school was huge. And I see.
A lot of schools don't do that, right? I mean, it's kind of unusual that we've done it because we could. Yep. It was like, well, we can. Let's do it. Especially because the field's right there.
And that's gonna bleed down into the elementary to where we, once we have our facilities and we can start having baseball camps in the summertime, that's just, again, it just breeds interest. And we just want that, just almost like the professionals build. They start and they through a system, they keep feeding players through the system, doing it the way we teach it, so that by the time they're in high school, they already know the terms.
They got it.
They know how we play, what we expect, what the expectations are. So that's the goal, is to have that feeder system already starting, similar to what lacrosse does. Yeah. Have that feeder system starting there so that when they get to high school, they're ready to go.
Yeah. So you're having fun coaching here?
Having a great time.
Good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I'm glad you're with us, Coach, and we're excited. Looking forward. Hopefully we get the playoffs, get to see you make a little run. Yep. Thanks for coming.
I appreciate you. Appreciate having me.
Yeah, you bet.
Okay.
Go Gators.
All right. Go Gators.